Hello there. Thanks for joining us for another edition of your Saraway Q Sports Show on television. This is Jide Olaniran, and I'm welcoming you to Ascent Television this time around and ready to serve you what I would tag as the ultimate edition of the Q Sports Show on Ascent Television. Compliments of the season to you, and also I wish you Merry Christmas as well as a prosperous New Year. There are so many things lined up for you as far as Ascent Television is concerned for 2022. All you need to do is just tell your friends and everyone that you know that they should subscribe to our channel, so that whenever those interesting contents do drop and those goodies, as well as we will do that from time to time also when we reward some of our subscribers on the channel. Okay, so that's it. All right, interesting discussion that we'll be having on today's show. So many of them. The Grand Prix 2021, the final has been played, the winner is won, and some other interesting conversation that we will have as far as Q Sports is concerned also. And the player of the week for this edition is a woman. We're trying to balance things and be gender sensitive on the show. All right. If you're ready, then let's go. Of course, my cue stick is with me and I'm ready to port. Welcome back. It's here, Q Sports on Ascent Television, and joining me to put perspective to some of these issues that we'll be doing on the show today is also Joe Akim is back. Joe, my guest as well, in-house analyst as well as the president of the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance of Nigeria. Joe, thanks for joining me again. Compliments of the season to you.
Same to you. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you very much.
If we don't see before the New Year.
That's it. But of course, while we are, I just imagine what some people will be, especially for those who will be competing in the ultimate pool. I don't think they will have Christmas, because by that time they should be preparing for the Ultimate Pool Professional Cup. It starts on the 27th to the 30th, so they should be preparing for that.
Like in most professional sports, the Christmas period is not really an off time. In football, you still have the Premier League will be played during that period. In darts, we still have the World Darts Championship will play during that period. So I don't think it is out of place for the professional cup to also, that's for lovers of pool, that's 8-ball pool, to also have something during that period. So it's all going to be good for sports generally.
Irrespective of Omicron, because you always remind me that
Omicron, not just the pandemic. Yes, the pandemic, I think it has kicked sports in the butt, and somehow, let us say, the pandemic has adversely affected most sports. You know what's happening in football is no more news. Even just today, we had that I think it was UEFA that walked over Tottenham because the number of players, they couldn't get the number of players to play their match because of some of their players, about 8 of them tested positive of COVID.
They can't be delaying schedule.
They can't delay schedule. So I doubt Q Sports is not left out.
Because Ronnie, just to buttress what you said, Ronnie O Sullivan, the winner of the Grand Prix, also is one player who has complained bitterly about the effect of lockdown on some of the form of the players. he said he will not buy any idea of locking down again. Because
but for me, I believe it is the man that is alive that can play snooker or play pool. So, and if the pandemic or if the COVID gets you on the wrong side, I doubt if you will be speaking the way.
Maybe he was reacting, but part of this was the reaction. You know, a lot of people reacted to the fact that he struggled, even though he won, but he still faced the fact that he struggled.
He struggled throughout.
Even he, the winner, the champion, struggled. Then what will you say about the others?
Even he beat all expectations in the final, because at the middle point of that match between him and Robertson, he was down 5-7. He was down 5-7. He really had to put in so much effort for the game to have ended, for that match to have ended 10-8. For me, I thought actually he had lost that match. But you know, the Rocket himself, he didn't want to go down fighting. And like in most sports, the worst position for you to find yourself in most sports is for you to be leading. I tell a lot of people who play, especially professional players, when you're even in athletics, the man in front is most of the time, once those chasing after him have the advantage of seeing him and passing him.
After all, those who are chasing have nothing to lose.
Have nothing to lose.
They believe the man at the top is the one who has a lot to lose.
A lot to lose. So the man at the top is just maybe looking up to God and trying to so that was the situation, because at the end of the midsection of that particular match, we all thought that it was over, that Neil Robertson had gone on to win the Grand Prix. But surprisingly, Ronnie is Ronnie any day, despite his lack of form. He experience, you don't buy experience. And he came up top at the end of the day. He pulled this, you can imagine, 7-5, and the game ended 10-8. So you can imagine how he had played. He played pretty well at the last tail end of the particular match. And let us say good for him. But even if you see his performance throughout in the semi-finals, when he met Scott Bingham 6, and it ended in his favor 6-2. That was fine. People looked up to him and said in quarterfinals he met Jimmy Robertson. It ended 5-2. Still, sometimes some of these results, I would say yes, the results represent some performance, but when you see the quality of play, that is when you now appreciate the work that has been done.
There are two issues that were raised by Ronnie O Sullivan, even though some of his colleagues disagree with the fact that he was advising children not to take to snooker. He also says that the organizers should also look at the format of how some of these games are played, especially for those players who lose out at the beginning of every tournament, who go empty-handed without earning anything.
Ronnie has just been a man. He's just been a chief complainer. Initially, he was complaining about 2 years ago or thereabout that the circuit was too choked, that playing throughout the year, back to back, it was pretty, it was emotionally, it was stressful, it was emotionally tiring and all of that. So yes, he's a chief complainer as far as I'm concerned. The point remains is that the organizers of this top tournament, that is World Snooker Tour, that WST, they can as more and more sponsors come on board, that is how the remuneration will continue to expand. So the focus should be what? They should show more snooker on television, because the more people can watch snooker on television, the better.
Well,
and the more popular it will become.
I think with time, there are more events. Like, for example, I just looked at the calendar Yeah, for Matchroom, there is an addition. There is going to be NIBO UK Open next year by Matchroom. So already, Matchroom already have about 5 events already. If you add that to 6, is growing, and not only Matchroom, we also have other who are putting things together. Okay, maybe that's where we'll go next. UK Open NIBO Pool Tournament launch in May 22. Just like I said, that is an additional project that Matchroom, friends in Matchroom, well, that's what they're working on already. And already it will be on TV. In case you don't know, Sky Sports locked it down.
Yes.
So it's just a matter of time.
Jide, when it comes to professional sports, especially when it comes to Q sports, I can tell you, go to the bank, the biggest name as an organizer of professional Q sports is Matchroom. And the success of the US Open that held in Las Vegas. I remember after that event, Emily Fraser did mention that with the success and the followership that that particular event attracted, that they will do one in UK. There's an opportunity in it. The UK Opens, UK is more centralized than the United States of America. There's all the visa restrictions and all of that. So you can see Europe or UK, people from all that continents can easily travel to the UK to come and play in that event. So I foresee that event will be even more successful than the US Open NIBO Open Championship. The UK Open is going to be very, very, very successful. It's going to be a big one for Matchroom as far as I'm concerned, especially when it comes to NIBO. I remember that when it comes to NIBO, Matchroom is the biggest promoter of NIBO pool in the world.
Wow. Well, we're just for them already. One thing about Matchroom is that for them already, the countdown has begun.
It has begun.
Because you know why? Already by February, the tickets for Moscone 2022 in Las Vegas will be online. You go, click, and you'll book your ticket.
You start booking your tickets.
That's how organization works.
So for us here, for us here in Africa, it is a reminder. I will keep on saying it's a reminder to those of us in Africa that we should begin to take Q sports more seriously, especially NIBO pool. Because if we do not develop the proper structure to promote NIBO pool, then unfortunately, as I'm talking to you, we will not have the opportunity of, or the top players from here will not have the opportunity of being invited to showcase their skill. Even though it's an open event, actually, it's an open event, anybody can put in for it, but there's still a criteria before you can put in for it.
There's a level of the level you measure up to. There's a level of your skill and competence. I know in everywhere. It's because it's open does not, just like they said, the fact that you live in Freetown does not mean the lunch there will be free.
Sure do.
All right. Let's go ahead and look at the Ultimate Pool Professional Cup that starts in just a number of days from now, a couple of days, 27th to 30th December. Some players will be busy from the 27th to the 30th of December. Ultimate Pool Professional Cup, just like the Ultimate Group. There's a similarity between what the Ultimate Group is trying to do. It's not because I'm seeing you with what SBPA is also trying to do, because I looked at the format of this particular, for example, those who, it's secular, they've created a community, they've created an ecosystem, of 8-ball players.
For 8-ball players.
So those who are going to, they are pushing it, and like some of the rules and guidelines for this competition is about that some players will be ranked. They will not join. Will be seeded rather. Because they will see that they won't join from the beginning. It's some people. If you're not ranked or you're low, those are the ones that will start, and that's good because the draws has been made already, and they just Just
Jide, 8-ball pool is popular, especially in this part of the world. In Nigeria, 8-ball pool is popular. Unfortunately, at the professional level, maybe because it is not yet a global, many of the players, the professional players of 8-ball pool, we do not know them in the global stage. That is why I am excited by what the Ultimate Pool Group is doing, especially with their partnership with BT.
Okay.
Because with their partnership with BT, and that this event is going to be transmitted live from the round of 32, I think. Yes, it's going to be transmitted live into the global stage. And even for some people who have the opportunity to even watch it online, for me, it's a big plus. It's a big plus because it will expand what we're doing. It will really expand what is going to be offered when it comes to pool or cue sports, snooker, pool, and billiards. We know Matchroom is doing something good for 9-ball pool. So what Ultimate Pool is doing for 8-ball pool, as far as I'm concerned, is very, 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 very commendable. It's the way to go. It's the way to go. So soon we'll start having those top players that are playing in the Ultimate Pool for 8-ball pool. We'll start knowing them the way we know Eklan Kaxi, Alban Ochain, Sean Van Vaboin, Jason Shaw, and all of them. Those are the big boys because we see them on TV, they write about them. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to pool, they are just, when it comes to 9-ball pool, they are just the ultimate. Everybody is looking up to them. So soon, some of these professional players that play 8-ball pool, who are even in UK, most of them are based in UK. We'll get to know them, and who knows, it will also give some of our players in Nigeria, because they know how to play 8-ball pool. People like Waliu, people like Victor, people like Gideon, Shehu, and the likes. Even Wale Oshomo, who knows if he will drop his gown, his lawyer's gown, and he choose to go and play. These are very, very strong players.
But I'm aware that the Ultimate Group is also, it's open to collaboration. They just, because they want to grow this, the Ultimate, the 8-ball also, they want to grow.
The more international players they bring into the event, the better it is, because somehow, if players from other continents begin to come in to play in these tournaments, you are growing the followership of that tournament in that country.
That's it. All right. That's it. Now let's just go on a break now for our player of the week. Like I said, our player of the week is a woman, Karen Kaur, 52-year-old Karen Kaur. Last week we brought in a former player. One thing about this cue sport is that they don't retire. They might come back anytime, because it has nothing to do with age. As long as you still feel like. I remember Alison Fisher once told us that she can come back anytime. So we've had Alison Fisher on the show before. One of the top female cue sports player is also. But this time around, our player of the week is Karen Kaur, who is from Ireland, and she is also a fantastic player, both snooker and pool player. All right, let's go and check it out, and we'll be back. Don't go away. Sports on ASEAN Television. Don't forget that you can like our Facebook, follow us on Twitter, as well as Instagram too. You can follow us on Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the ASEAN TV. Also, yeah, you can drop some lines, you can drop some comment for us. You know, let's feel you, let's feel your pulse, let's know what you think about this program, and let's see if there are things that you wish we could add, subtract, or just, you know, let's build this program together, because it's all about you. So that's it. Okay, Joe, well, let's come back home now. Let's talk about the SPPA. Now, the ranking for the latest ranking and some other things that the SPPA is doing, because on this show we should also give time, we should also give the opportunity to know what's happening to our local talents.
Yes, on the ranking for last week, at the top we didn't witness a lot of movement, okay. But at the bottom, not at the bottom, at the mid area of the ranking table, we saw some movement. Okay. So Oluwole Abayomi is still topping the ranking table, still number 1. And remember, this is for Chinese pool, okay. Because most of the players are now playing Chinese pool because the opportunity is going to give them, because they are all looking forward to going to play in the Chinese pool masters. Okay. That is going to happen in Qingdao in China. So Oluwole is topping with 1147.00. Kenneth Marizu, he didn't play. I luckily ran into him just before we came into this program, and because I had to run from one of the bars to come here. He said he was down for about 2 weeks, okay. And that's why he was nowhere to be found playing, but he's still number 2. His ranking point is 1059.00. In third position, we have Edgar Peggy. He's still there, 1055.00. But we now have a new number 4. And that is Babatunde Odukoya. Okay. He really played and did well, okay. In the last 1 week, and now he is 1037.00, and he is number 4. Oscar Hiro, I saw him also playing just this evening before I came into the studio. Before we came to the studio, he said he has not been around. He traveled to go do some other things. He left the table for just a while, about a week and a half or 2, and his points didn't really change. And that is the beauty of the ranking, okay. That if you don't really play, you don't lose your points. Okay. You're not predicting this thing. But the problem you might have is that other people might come and pass you.
I'm just, there's something an observation about the Odukoya. What's his name? Babatunde Odukoya. Yes. If the top 4 is to be played today,
he will play. He'll play.
But if it were last week, he wouldn't have.
No, he won't qualify.
That's why I am so. I'm fascinated by some of the movement. On the
yes, there's movement.
So it makes room for, you know, competition, and it's like an incentive. People just
you must continue to play. You must continue to sharpen your skills. You must continue to show that you are active. So you cannot, even though you go sleep or you say, oh, I'm too busy, in no time, before you open your eyes, some other person will have passed you. And that is what has happened to people like Oscar now. He didn't play for a while. Okay. He's dropped. Charles Agbeji, remember Charles Agbeji was up there, number 4. He has dropped out because Babatunde Odukoya has been playing.
What's been happening to Charles, really? Because I know that he's afraid to lose his points, or he's just not been playing.
I believe so. There are reasons. Some people don't want to lose their points.
But in the you're dropping the pecking order. You're dropping down the pecking order.
That's it. That's the point we are trying to make. Other people will be playing and making their points and be going up. So that tomorrow when we want to organize the top 4, which we're planning to do, remember that top 4 is one of the major tournaments the SPPA offers which is a tournament, somehow, all of those players will not qualify.
What a disappointment it would have been for them, especially for those who just imagine a player dropping 2 weeks to the top 4 tournament, just dropping off the that would have been disappointing. Joe, like I always say, thank you very much for always keeping me company on the show, for not allowing me to go solo and to be alone. And hopefully this will be bigger next season, because next season I want to see us bring in some of the stars in Nigeria onto this program. Let's begin to showcase, put faces to some of the names that
actually
we call on the show.
I think one of the things I would love that I would do somehow, most likely would be that we'll have some of these. Well, whether we can even go and the Ascent TV might go and meet some of these players in their turf, and we can just do a one-on-one chat with them, even in their turf, even if they cannot come to the studio. We can just go and meet them and hold a one-on-one chat with some of these players that we talk about on a regular basis. People like Oluwole Abayomi, even Victor Morgan. Some of these players we mentioned on a regular basis, we just want to have a one-on-one with them. And expect some fantastic highlights of some of the events that will be organized too. We will bring some of those highlights to you. So, because that's our job on Ascent Television. Thank you very much for joining us for this edition. Like I said, the ultimate show. That's it for the year 2021. Till I come your way next year, God willing, we'll be back with a bang, just like I promised. And of course, remember to always keep potting and don't lose your focus. And also don't forget, once again, our touch points are there for you to interact with us on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. And also tell your friends and everybody that's dear to you that they should go subscribe to our TV channel. Thank you very much. Happy New Year in advance, and Merry Christmas.